Hey there, this is Doug Edgell again with Fingers on the Frets. This is chord switching. This is the 1, 2, 3 switch, and I'm really proud of this. I've been playing guitar for 25 or so years, and I probably have 100 or 200 guitar books and studied with 5 different people. And the point of the story is I've never seen somebody teach chord switching in this way before, so I don't want to say I invented it, but I think I did. It's pretty simple, but it's just really effective way to learn your chord switching. So here we go. You always want to use a metronome. I like this chord metronome right here. It's called the KDM2 digital metronome. It's loud. I just like it. You can get any metronome though. You can get them on your iPad, iPhone. You can get the old school ones that click back and forth. Chord switching, the 1, 2, 3 switch. This is how you approach chords. Well, first of all, let me show you how not to do it. And this is what my students will come in, and I just shake my head. So they're like, okay, Doug, I'm going to play the example. Cool, man. Go ahead. Check it out. Completely useless exercise. There's no music in there at all. It's like, it takes you, you know, see, that's not music at all. Like I said in the first video that you might have watched, everything you have to do, even at the beginner stage, has to sound like music. It doesn't matter if it's slow music. Make it sound musical. How? Put the metronome on. Do the 1, 2, 3 switch. What does that mean? There's 4 beats in a measure. Beat 4, you're going to put a rest, and you're going to say the word switch, or whatever you got to do to remember. But that's where you switch chords. So here, it's very simple, but it's effective, and it won't drive me, or if you're taking lessons somewhere else in addition to watching these, it won't drive your teacher crazy. Okay, so here you go. You've got 2, 3, switch. Now we're in time. Switch. I picked C and G7, switch. Now we have 4 beats in a measure, and it sounds like a pulse. It sounds like a song. It's a slow song, but I'd rather hear slow music than no rhythm at all. Okay, now your next thing is, oh, Doug, well, that's too fast. Well, go to 50. Here, I'll even go to 45. Switch. It's totally fine. See, it doesn't matter how slow you go. Switch. As long as there's a pulse and you're following some sense of tempo. Switch. Okay? We're going to go to the next line, and this is D7 to G. Switch. And that would have been beat 4 on the switch, but we put a rest there. Now, on my rest, I'm collapsing my hand on the strings down here, my right hand. You can see what I'm going to do. And that stops the sound. If that's too much, don't worry about it. Just worry about those shapes. My shoulder is relaxed over here. I can arch in if I need to here. Keep my fingers arched and bend this direction, not this way. You don't want them to bend backwards, you know. Okay, the third line is A minor to E minor. Switch. And back. And hopefully you're playing along here. So that's the goal, to play along with me. We'll do this line one more time. All these again at a faster tempo so you can gauge your practice and see how well you're doing. Okay, we're going to go to the next measure 13. Now it's C to F. See how I've angled my elbow, I've angled my fingers, no pressure. Now here's the F chord. And again, if it doesn't sound perfect, listen, yours might sound like that, but guess what? If you stay in rhythm, it's still better than not having a rhythm, you see. And then just gradually try to angle the fingers right and use the right amount of pressure. One more time. So don't try to correct yourself. It's another thing that drives your teacher crazy. Is is if you try to correct yourself in the middle of a song. The beat will go by, and then the whole thing collapses. Alright, so the last one is G to D. We're going to use this G chord. It's the 2-3-4 fingering. 3-2-4 if you want to think of it that way. I know that's hard for some of you. You can use the other G fingering if you want. There's your D major chord. Like this G fingering is fine too. But you want to start using that little finger whenever you can. I'll go back to the harder G shape with the little finger, fourth finger down here. And then back to... Okay. Alright, I'm going to go to 60 now. That was 45 on the metronome. I'll go to 60. And what I'm going to do is just play through exactly what it says on the sheet music or the GP6 file. And then if I have time, I'm going to do one more tempo for you. So this is the 1-2-3 switch. It's a really effective way to practice. Okay, play along. Ready, start. D7 to G. Shape is fine, but the less you use your little finger, the harder it is to get it to work for you in the future. So you'll want to start to use that fourth finger in the left hand. Okay, we have time for one more tempo. I'll go to 80. And thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Remember, there's in the basic chords video, the very first one, or one of the first ones that you might have seen, there's B7 and A7 and A. Well, you can use this for any of those chords. Just pick some chords or write a progression out. Also, this is very effective if you're trying to learn a new tune and there's a chord change that's really getting you. Like, let's say you're working on a tune and you're having trouble, maybe bar chords or something in the future. And you want to remember this concept because you can work on that. What if the tune went like this? That's a pretty quick switch, you know? Well, what you can do is just do this. 1, 2, 3, switch. 1. And do that, and remember these slow little practice things that I've shown you. And then, pretty soon, in 2 or 3 days, you know, it gets faster. So, 80 on the metronome, and this will be the last one that we can do today. Play along. 1, 2,